All right, so I low-key fucked up because I was supposed to change the privacy settings on this hoe, but eh. I was supposed to change them, forgot to change them. My fucking tripod thing is loose. There's a lot going on here. But nevertheless, I wanted to come really quickly and do a live on the YouTube because I never do lives on YouTube. And just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted to make sure that I was able to come and give my 2 cents and my peace of mind because I feel like I have to be a lot more policed on the Instagram, and I feel like I have to be a lot more strategic about what I say on Instagram because there are so many people that have this idea and this view about who I'm supposed to be. And so there are a lot of things that I can't speak on, or there are a lot of things that I can't say, or whatever the case may be. And I'm just sick and tired of having to be one of the people because there are other girls that do, like hold people accountable for their shit. But I'm sick and tired of having to be like one of the people that is constantly reminding folks of the ways in which black women are being treated or the ways in which black women are not being treated and the lack of care and give a fuck that black women get, but especially when you're trans. And it's just crazy to me how we're literally in a moment where people are like, Black Lives Matter, and all of the good shit. But when it comes down to it, and you ask them to stand up for the injustices and the iniquities that other people are going through, they be looking at you stupid. Like they be looking at you like you straight fucking dumb. They be looking at you like you straight stupid. And I just can't. You know what I'm saying? Like I just fucking can't. So it takes me to this place of wanting to continue to advocate, but also it takes me to another place of wanting to just be like, fuck that shit. Because if I can't advocate, I honestly, sometimes I feel a way about advocating for people who would literally step over me in the street if something happened to me. Because we've seen it. And I may not like Eden the doll, and I don't know her friends, so I'm not gonna say I don't like them, but I have my reasons for not really caring for Eden. I don't have an issue with her as a person, so when I say I don't like her, I just mean that I don't like the persona that she puts out into the universe. But I may not care for her persona, but she didn't deserve, her friends didn't deserve, Jocelyn, the girl who got hit over the head with the scooter, most certainly did not deserve what happened to them yesterday night. My issue with it is that I just feel like, and I've had to have multiple conversations with people who are just like, but why does it matter? And it matters because that's the reason that a lot of people are talking about this. What bothers me is that I feel like this is getting a lot of attention, not because it's important to people, but I feel like it's getting a lot of attention based off of who it was. And that bothers me. And one of my friends actually, hit me up and was like, "Hey, Hope, like, let me pick your brain about something. Let me throw a monkey wrench in on this." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And so he says, "Well, do you believe solely that the reason that these girls are getting traction and getting whatever is because they're beautiful, and because they fit a certain aesthetic?" And I was like, "No." But I do believe that that's a part of the reason why the fans are so flamed. I mean, the flames are so fanned, right? I believe that because we've seen it before where we've had other girls that have gone through similar situations. We have video footage and proof of black trans women right now fighting for their fucking life on the subway. And you don't see anybody going out of their way to find those people. You don't see anybody going out of their way to post on social media about those people. You don't see people going out of their way to make sure that there's justice brought to those people. But all of a sudden, you got a pretty Hispanic girl who posts on her page and it just blows up. And I say that to say that even if Jocelyn had posted it herself, being a little mixed biracial girl, I just don't feel like it would have gotten the same traction either. And it's not necessarily just because Eden has followers, because there's some shit that you can have and have followers and bitches still don't bite on that. But I just, like, it bothers me sometimes when I see serious shit go off, you know what I'm saying, and celebrities take off with it and all type of stuff. because of who it is and because of their aesthetic, and then other people share it because other people, you know, fall in line to this idea of their aesthetic, and then they also start to share it, and they also, you know, and so like it becomes like this trickle rundown effect for me, that I just don't see a lot of the Black trans women who are like dead ass brutally beaten in the middle of the street, who are like dead ass brutally, you know what I'm saying? Like when Malaysia Booker was beat up in Texas, I ain't see a bunch of celebrity people talking about that. Now after she died, you know what I'm saying? Like I saw a bunch of people posting after she passed. I saw a couple of people, you know, talking their shit, but I didn't see a bunch of people sharing that video and saying, let's find the dude that was in the video talking about, you know, this, that, and the third. And yes, he was, you know, yes, he ended up having to go and see a judge, but it's just like, with this situation, the public is holding those people accountable. The public is holding those folks accountable. The public wanted to make sure that they found those people. And yes, don't get me wrong, Eden them found his information, but I also feel like a large part of that is due to pretty privilege and not being Black, and you know, and these are just my problematic thoughts for the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? These are just my problematic thoughts. And I wanted to come and see if anybody else was kind of sort of feeling the same vibe that I was feeling, or if y'all think that I'm tripping. Please don't hesitate to say like, Hope, I think you're tripping. You know what I'm saying? Please don't hesitate to be like, Hope, I think that you're tripping. I think that, you know, it's not that deep. I think you're looking a little too deep into it. Okay, so somebody said that it's not problematic. Like, you know, but I always want to make sure that as somebody who has a platform of my own, that I am not spewing out things that are hateful. And I always want to make sure that I'm coming from a place that is a good place. You know, like, isn't she friends with Blair White? Okay. Because that's my thing. Like, there's so much problematic shit that like and it's not my thing is, like I've said on Instagram, if you haven't been to my Instagram, go to my Instagram and you'll see the video that I made. For me, it's not about who it happened to. It's about what happened, right? My activism and the stance that I'm taking on this is the fact that transgender women were brutally beaten for no reason. Not the fact that Eden the doll was brutally beaten for no reason, because she wasn't brutally beaten. Her friend was brutally beaten. And the sad part about it is that nobody is really talking about her friend. Everybody is talking about her. Even in the video that like one of my friends posted, like, I get what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? I get what he was saying. But actually, I'ma call him. Because when I think about it, like, I get what you were doing, but once again, this shows how Black women are just like, whatever, even when we're the ones that are hurt. So as a part of the video that he made or whatever, one of his points was to say, like, this is why niggas be mad. And he inserted a clip where one of the guys was like, yeah, that blonde one, no, like, I would fuck her. Like, she fine as fuck. But the girl that's laying on the fucking ground, Jocelyn, the Black girl that got her motherfucking head knocked off with a fucking scooter, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why we're here. We're not really here because of Eden. You know what I'm saying? We're not really here because of the girl that they were willing to barter with. You know what I'm saying? They were willing to barter with Eden. They were willing to, you know, she was able to pay to get her phone back or whatever the case may be, but they knocked the Black girl upside the head. They were trying to fight the other girl. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and exactly, because a part of it for me is the anti-Blackness. A large part of it for me is about like what part of this for real is just straight up anti-Blackness. And a large part of it for me is also what part of this is based off of pretty privilege, right? Because is that the reason that she wasn't attacked in the same way that the other two girls were attacked? Because you know what I'm saying? Like, the other two girls were attacked like they were men, whereas Eden was left alone and left to barter with, right? Like, she was, you know what I'm saying? Like, they might have still felt like, oh, that's a tranny, or, you know, that's the nigga, or whatever the case may be, but they spoke to her differently. She was able to, you know, negotiate differently than the other girls, whereas Jocelyn caught a motherfucking scooter to the back of the head, and the other girl had to run them down like she was motherfucking running track. And it's just like, they were both standing there. Why didn't you hit both of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that I think about when I think about some of these situations, because they're so nuanced. And no, that's the stuff that I get in trouble for, because some people are just like, Hope, it's not about the nuance, it's about the fact that it happened. Which is why if you see the video that I just put out on Instagram, like, you'll see that I focus more so on the trash ass behavior of people in the situation and not exactly, you know, who it happened to. Because if I get to focusing on who it happened to, it just makes me upset, right? It makes me upset that there isn't enough get up and go in certain people. And it almost makes me want to make another video about the idea of, like, be careful who the fuck you friends with. Because if it's three of us on one motherfucking nigga, from the video that I saw, right, there was like one aggressive nigga, right? There was one aggressive nigga. And so to me, if it's three of us, why the fuck we not jumping him? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's three of us, why the fuck we not banging his motherfucking head in? Like, why we didn't pick up a scooter first and do this nigga dirty? Like, why the fuck are we, like, I don't know, but I guess that's just because I'm black. I guess that's just because I'm a black woman, and I come from a space where, bitch, we come together, we leave together. One of us swing, all of us are in a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come from that space, and I just feel like, for me, like, there was no excuse as to why the fuck he was able to even do that. Because, bitch, it was supposed to be bang, bang, gang, gang on his ass. Like, I just, there's so much nuance to this situation. And I feel like I'm the only person that wants to dissect it publicly, because everybody else wants to take their moment off of this to be the activist, right? And while I feel like I can do that, I don't feel like I can do that wholeheartedly without also having this, right? Without also having this conversation, without also bringing light and shedding light and opening up people's minds to the nuances of anti-blackness, to the nuances of pretty privilege and passing privilege and all that stuff, and make people really think about the idea that sometimes the life does not matter. Sometimes, you know, like, none of this stuff matters. It's legitimately about who is in danger and who was faced with, you know, some sort of life-changing thing before people give a shit. And I'm not in a space anymore where I can accept that as truth. I'm not in a space anymore where I'm willing to allow people to just, like, not talk about certain shit for the sake of the media, for the sake of the gram. I'm not in a place where I'm willing to just be quiet about the injustices of black women, black trans women, black people as a whole, for the sake of appeasing other people who just don't want to talk about it right now. Like, I'm not in a space where I can do that anymore. Do you think that maybe Latinas don't have the same girl code as black girls? Because real talk, they should have jumped him. They should have. His ass should have been grasped. But my thing is, like, I'm from Miami, right next door to Little Cuba, and like Little Havana, sorry. And it's just like, girl, the Spanish girls in Miami would have whooped his motherfucking ass. So I don't know what that was about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell you what that was about. I don't know what that was about. I'm not sure what that was about. But I just know that the Spanish girls where I'm from would have handed him his motherfucking papers. And it's like, but I don't know. I just feel like, to me, it gives a lot of better you than me tease. That's what it gives. To me, it gives a lot of better you than me tease. And I hate to be the person to say it, but I know that there are a lot of us thinking it. And it's just one of those things where, in the midst of all of this chaos, I just want to remind people that Eden has not stood up for anybody other than herself since she's hopped on the scene and gotten her body done. She has been all about her. She has been all about her little followers. She has been all about keeping up her image and putting other women down in the process. Like, I've sat back and watched her on YouTube having conversations about how bitches are clocky and how girls are not really trans and how they look like men and, you know, all of this other stuff. And so it doesn't surprise me that when the shit hits the fan, that she wouldn't ride or die. Like, it doesn't surprise me. And it doesn't, I'm not going to sit up here and act like she does not care about her friend. I'm not going to sit up here and act like, oh, I think that her tears were insincere, because anybody going through a situation like that, especially if you don't have the heart of a fighter, that shit is scary to you. You don't know what the fuck to do other than cry and ask for help, right? I'm not going to sit up here and act like I don't think that she was genuinely like in distress. But sis was just happy it wasn't her. And everybody is throwing her name around. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is throwing her name around, including myself, right? When who we really should be talking about is Jocelyn, because she was the girl that got hit with the motherfucking with the scooter, and she just so happened to be the only black girl with them. And it's just like, as a black man, out of all the bitches, and it's not to say that it would have made it better, but like, out of all the bitches that you could hit, you hit the black girl. Out of all of the girls that you could hit that was with them, you hit the black girl. If you was gonna take your trans anger out on anybody, don't pick a bitch that looked like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I don't know. I'm really lightweight, just venting right now, because I just don't feel like I could take this to the gram, because, yeah, you know, but it's just, to me, the whole thing is a sad story, and I'm happy that it's kind of sort of coming to a rolling stop, because the young men who did the do, they going ghost, or whatever the case may be. I do want them to be caught, and I want, the young lady that was hit upside the head with the fucking scooter, I want her to feel like some sort of justice was served. But other than that, like, I don't know any of the other girls. I didn't know any of the other two young ladies, either Jocelyn or Jazz. I didn't know either one of them before the incident. So I can't say how I would feel about either one of them. But I will say this, is that in the video, there was a point where an ignorant ass black man came up and was like, Black Lives Matter, da 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 da, looking at, Jocelyn, because I believe that she's biracial, but, clearly one of those races is black. And I don't think that he peeped that, because she was on the ground crying and, I guess covering her face or whatever the case may be. And I just feel like when Jazz started to make the argument about Black Lives Matter, and she was in the video like, oh, but Black Lives Matter, this is a black woman on the ground, blah, 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 going off. I went to her page, I went to Jocelyn's page, and I went to Eden's page to see if they had posted anything about Black Lives Matter, to see if they had posted anything about any of the black trans women that were killed, to see if they had posted anything about black trans lives, nothing. And not a single peep out of any one of them about any of those issues. But here you go, oh, but y'all want to talk about Black Lives Matter, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And I just was like, this low-key gives me Hispanic people that low-key talk shit about the movement in the quiet of their home, but then low-key, when it serves them, they be like, oh, but I'm a minority black. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it was giving me after I went in and I checked, the pages to see what it, because we've been doing this for the last, 4-5 months at this point. So you've had ample opportunity, the way that y'all be gassing each other up, on the gram with your pictures and your things or whatever the case may be. Because I don't give a fuck what they posted in their story, right? I want to know what support did you show? I didn't even see like a black, how people was doing the blackout box for a minute. I didn't even see a black box on any of their pages. I could be wrong because I went skimming, but I didn't even see a black box on any of their pages when we were doing the black box movement. And I'm at a space, and I'm in a space where I'm just like, don't co-opt the movement because it serves you in this moment. Don't co-opt the movement, and don't come at, you know, this man on that tip when you low-key don't give a fuck about Black lives to begin with. You know, and so it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things where I've been teeter-tottering with this entire situation. And like I said, I do not condone, nor do I support any of the things that happened to those young ladies. But there is nuance to the situation. You know what I'm saying? There's nuance to that situation that needs to be discussed, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to take away from the search. It's not to take away from anything that we're doing to make sure that those girls get justice. But there's nuance and there's layers to that conversation that I think just kind of need to be discussed. And I thank you all for helping me kind of just vent and kind of comb through the things that I've been thinking and whatnot. I know I don't usually get or go live on the YouTubes that often, but I'm going to try to do it so that my Patreon people can get a more real version. Because if you on Patreon and you watch the Instagram live, then bitch, you know what y'all know that my Instagram live was a very PC version of this. And so I think that I'm going to start doing a lot more of what I just did, which give Instagram the PC version and come to Patreon and you know, the YouTubes, and give you all, you know, a little something extra. All women need to carry something. I agree. I'm gonna seriously talk to my godfather about getting me a gun, because at this point I'm shooting niggas. If you run up on me, if you pull that shit on me, what they're going to have on video is me shooting the shit out of you. And if you die, you die in self-defense. Like, I just feel like that's where I'm at. Like, I want to seriously talk to my godfather about getting a gun, getting my license to carry, or whatever the fuck I need, you know what I'm saying? And dare a nigga to try it. Because what y'all gonna see on that video is not gonna be a video of, oh, Hope Giselle got beat up and we need to rally for. No, bitch, it's gonna be Hope Giselle shot them niggas up one by a fucking one. Like, I'm not playing. Like, and if he got a gun, it'll just be a fucking shootout. Like, if he got a gun, it'll just be a shootout, because I'm not fighting with these niggas. I'm not running down the street after you. I'm not bartering with you for my shit. Bitch, I'm going to shoot the fuck out of you. I don't have time. Like, and I'm not playing with these niggas. I'm not gonna shoot you in the leg. I'm shooting to kill you. And I know that this may ruin some job opportunities for me, or, you know, whatever the case, people might see this. But if you don't understand that as a Black transgender woman, I'm not sparing the life of anybody who would take mine without wishful thinking. I'm not sparing the life of those people. And so if you come at me with the intent to harm me and I can get to my gun, I will kill you. All of this, oh, you just shoot him in the leg until the police come and blah, blah, blah. Bitch, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Somebody mama gonna be missing a son if they try me. And that's that on that period. I'm going to make an example out of one of these niggas. Don't be fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? Don't be fucking with them. I don't wish that energy on me. I don't wish that sort of thing to happen to me, you all. But I'm just letting y'all know now. What y'all gonna see on the news about my interaction is gonna be completely different. Bitch, whatever video somebody picks up is gonna be a video of my bitch ass bang, bang, banging at somebody's son. Because I don't have time. I don't have the time. And I agree with whoever made that comment. Like, the girls need to start carrying. If y'all ain't gonna be boxing, y'all need to start carrying. If y'all ain't gonna be boxing these niggas up, y'all need to start carrying something. Because it just, like, it's dangerous out here. And nobody is out here protecting the girls. Nobody is out here protecting the girls. Nobody is out here making sure the girls are safe. Nobody is out here making sure the girls are protected. Out of all of the people that walk by that scene, you know what I'm saying? Out of all of the people that walked by that scene, there wasn't too many people that were willing to stop and be like, what's going on? Like, even people who didn't know that they were trans, or like people just didn't give a fuck. People just genuinely didn't give a fuck. And then when they found out that they were trans women, it was just like less of a give a fuck. It was just like, oh, okay, now I really don't care. And I can't. And I don't think that trans women should be forced to stay at home if they're not willing to fight. Because I don't feel like it should always have to be a fight. And don't get me wrong, I know that the world is not, that's not how the world operates. I understand that the world is not ready to accept trans women for who the fuck we are and let us live and all of that jazz. I get it. I understand that. I know y'all. But I still don't believe in the idea of telling trans women that we got to lock up at the crib unless we ready to throw down like FloJo. I don't believe in that. So what I'm going to believe in is arming the fuck out of myself and arming the fuck out of the rest of the girls. Not because I'll box you, but bitch, I ain't got time. I would rather up my pistol on your bitch ass and send you home to your mama with a new hole or in a body bag. And I know that it sounds morbid, you all, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to either put a hole in your ass or I'm going to send you home to your mom. She going to be crying. I don't have the time. And when they asked what happened, when she asked what happened to her baby, why her baby? Because he was fucking with the wrong girl. He was fucking with the wrong girl. Well, that felt good. I was able to get that off my chest and all of the things. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I hope that y'all enjoyed it and all of the good things of the good things. And I will talk to y'all a lot more often. I really enjoyed this little YouTube chat session and the way that I was able to be a little bit more open and honest on here than I usually am on the Instagrams and things like that. So y'all stay tuned. Keep it posted if you are on the Patreon and all that. If you're on the YouTube and you got this video special edition, y'all stay tuned and stay posted because I definitely think that I'm going to do a lot more little videos like this where I can kind of just be a tad bit more open and honest about my thoughts and my feelings. But until then, you all, peace, love, and hope, and I will see y'all later. Bye, guys.